Hey everybody, welcome to James Quest, and tonight I saw the new Liam Neeson movie, Retribution, which, right off the bat, I gotta say, it is such a generic, forgettable title. It's just a one word, like, it could have been called Vengeance, or, I don't know, it's just such a nothing title that I keep forgetting the name of it. You know, I've had people ask me, like, what movie are you seeing? I'm like, the Liam Neeson one. And I feel like even just saying that, I'm still able to get across what I'm saying, because this is very much just another one of those, Liam Neeson is an older guy, but he can do some action things, and it's just kind of I'll give the movie this. There's no fight scenes. Like, Liam Neeson is not really fighting anybody in this movie. In fact, he's sitting down the entire movie, so I'll give it that. At least it's not asking me to be like, oh yeah, he's taking people out or something, Like, maybe we've moved past that part of his career, right? Which, by the way, did you guys know that Taken came out in 2008? I wasn't sure exactly when it came out, but it's been 15 years since Taken came out, and since then, there have, of course, been just so many of kind of the same movie over and over and over again. Now, I will say this one is more of a speed mixed with, if you guys remember the movie Phone Booth, where the guy was inside of a phone booth the entire movie, and he's getting calls, and he has to do whatever the person on the phone is telling him to do. It's kind of a mix of all of that stuff, but along with speed, because there's a bomb and he can't get out of the car, kind of thing. So it's just a mix of those two ideas, really. And it's not even that these movies aren't necessarily bad, but it is that they're somewhat predictable, right? Like this definitely just feels like a movie you've seen before, right? Like, if you watch the trailer, you'd probably be like, I swear this has already come out. I swear they've made this already. And it's because it's just such an amalgamation of so many different things. There was, a couple funny things. Liam Neeson is late 60s, early 70s. And in this movie, we're expected to believe that he has two kids, one of which is a high schooler, and the other one is like 10. And it's like, and the thing is, they did not pair him up with like a 30 or even a 40-year-old wife in this movie. They gave him a pretty age-appropriate wife, so I don't know why they made these kids so young. These kids easily should have been a decade or even a little bit more older, right? Like, it was kind of a strange decision. Like we're expected to believe that they just had like a 10-year-old kid. Like, no, you didn't. You didn't have a 10-year-old. You don't have a 10-year-old kid. That kid should be like 20 right now. There's no way this is happening. Anyways, so there are some funny things like that. Also, this movie takes place in Germany, which there's not really a reason why it needs to take place in Germany. I don't know, because Liam Neeson sounds like Liam Neeson, but the wife and the kids sound American. And even like some of the agents that they deal with, like, and all of his like business friends, they're all American. They have American accents. So I'm not sure why this is taking place in Germany. I don't really know if there's like really a reason. If it was, maybe it was just easier to shoot there, the movie, for some reason. I don't know. But in any case, it does. So it does have like some things that like make it a little different. But ultimately it does just kind of feel like a movie you've seen before. And even like, you're there for like the twist, right? You're like, okay, so who put the bomb in this guy's car, and why can't he get out of it? Like, who's doing this to him, right? And it is one of those things where like the movie, in the first like 20 minutes, they introduce you to a handful of different characters that you're like, okay, it could be this person or it could be that person. But obviously it has to be a character that we've met, because otherwise the reveal won't mean anything if it's not a character we've met before. And it is like, yeah, it's probably the guy that you guess, like, right away. It's like, okay, it's that guy probably. And it was, So I was like, okay, so it was exactly the person that we thought it was gonna be. Wasn't really that much of a twist. I will say there's like a fake out death thing, so I'm like, okay, I guess they kind of got me, but ultimately it just kind of came back around and be like, yeah, okay, so it was the obvious guy. My other thing is that, like, there's not really any kind of major motivation here. It's really just like they just want a lot of money. They had a bunch of money in this account and they had to kill off a bunch of people to gain access to it, I guess. And that was really it. Like, that's why all of this is happening. And even the whole thing where, like, there's a bomb in the car and there's like a scale, like a weight scale that like would trigger the bomb if too many people get out of the car, like that kind of thing. It really is just like at the last second during the big reveal, it's just like, oh yeah, with enough money on the dark web, you can get people to make you a bomb and they'll install it for you too, and they'll do all this for you. So it's like, okay, so this guy didn't even like do the work, like he really is just like a guy who wants money, and he just paid other people to like do anything that would require any kind of smartness to do, because I was expecting like, okay, but they had to have access to his car and they had to be able to build this bomb and they had to be able to do all this, and that's really not part of the reveal at all. It really is just like oh, they just paid someone. Oh, all right. Okay. And I guess my really last thing is that, like, this is one of those movie endings where there's no way they go back to having a normal life after this. Like, it kind of ends with like, all right, we beat the bad guy and I guess we get to go home. Maybe they don't show that, and then the movie ends, because that if the movie kept going, it's like, well, he's gonna be under arrest because he's still, there's a lot of stuff that happened, even though it was a big misunderstanding, and the cops that thought that he was behind a bunch of stuff and it wasn't him, it was the guy on the phone. And you know what I mean? Like, it is one of those things where, like, okay, but you still did a bunch of stuff and you ran away from the cops, and you know what I mean? Like, how many traffic laws did you violate? And so it is like, you're not gonna go back home and everything's fine. Like, this is not a happily ever after ending. It's like, but we're not supposed to think about that. The movie ends, that's where you're supposed to leave it, right? Like, it is just one of those things where, like, if the movie kept going a little bit longer, oh, okay, and maybe not such a happy ending. But yeah, it what do you want me to say? It is a movie that you've seen before. It's nothing special here. And look, Liam Neeson had this big break. Like, he was famous before this. But like, when Taken came out, it just, his career just went on this entirely different trajectory, and now 15 years later, here we are, he's still kind of making these movies, and I can't blame the guy. You know what I mean? Like some people are like, I went to go see it, so some people are seeing it, I guess, right? Like, I imagine it's mostly older people who are watching these kinds of movies because, older guys still doing action stuff and being real tough, so, like, I don't know. These movies have their audience, but yes, it is just another one of those Liam Neeson movies. Like, if you've seen one, you've seen all of them. So anyways, yeah, let me know if you guys are gonna go out to see Retribution. I almost forgot the name of the movie again. Such a generic title. Literally could have just any one word title that kind of sounds a little gritty, like vengeance, retribution, desolation. Like, it could have been just named anything like that, anyways, let me know if you guys are gonna go check this one out, or it is one of those things where, like, hey, I don't know, if you haven't hung out with your dad in a while and you want to, like, hey dad, there's a Liam Neeson movie, I bet you'd enjoy this, so want to go watch a Liam Neeson movie? It is one of those. But yeah, this thing is going to end up on Netflix in like a week, and it's going to be one of those things that some of you are going to one day go like, you know what, why not? Let me I know what this is already, but it's not even like a horrible thing. It is just a forgettable, you've seen this. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.